Thanks for tuning in to Card Player TV. I'm Lizzie Harrison, and thank you very much for coming by today, Chino.
Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure.
So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about slow playing. I know you're a pretty aggressive player, but every player has to integrate their game, and there's always a time to slow play. How do you determine when you're going to play a big hand pretty slowly?
I would say, well, for me, when I don't really slow play that much, like you said, I am an aggressive player, but for the most part, the times whenever I slow play, it's when I'm playing another aggressive player.
Okay.
And if I have a big hand against another aggressive player where I know that, like, if he raised pre-flop and he's going to continuation bet and bet the turn, like fire 3 bullets.
He'll do it for you.
Right. Then I'll slow play. So and when you know you have the hand, there's no reason to lose him, to raise him and make him fold like nothing. You want him to keep betting. So for me, most of the times, that's when I slow play a big hand is against another aggressive player.
Well, let's say you have pocket eights in position. The flop comes king 8-4, 2 diamonds, and it's checked to you. Are you going to bet out?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. It's situational. It always depends on the hand. Like, for example, like how many people are in the hand, if you're heads up. If I'm heads up in the hand and it's checked to me, I might check it. Or, I like to put in a small bet, you know, like a bet where it looks like you're trying to just take it down with nothing and hope that, you know, he doesn't call. But when I do that, I put in a small bet because I'm looking for a raise.
How do you determine the size of the bet? Like, what would you classify as a small bet?
I bet maybe like a third of the pot. Maybe like a third of the pot. If the pot's 3K, I bet 1,000 or something. Maybe like 1,200. But if it's head, you know, if there's more people in the pot and then like I flop a set of eights, but there's a flush draw on board, I probably won't slow play. I'll probably want to like get my money in good. And, you know, if they have a flush draw, then we'll get it all in. You know, if you hit, you hit. You know,
right.
Good luck to you. But.
Well, that leads into my next question. Let's say you do make a small bet on the flop, and one opponent calls, and then the turn is the diamond. It puts 3 diamonds out there. It's checked to you again. What are you going to do in that spot?
It's funny you say that because that situation came up yesterday. I flopped top set of kings, and then the turn came a spade. The way I played the hand was I made a bet, a little more than, you know, maybe like 2/3 of the pot on the turn, I bet. Because a lot of times, just because they call doesn't mean they have a flush draw, you know. You can still have the best hand. They might have flopped, like, if it comes king 8-4, they could have top pair. And just, you know, they're trying to steal you out. So a lot of times, I still make a bet, but not a big bet as to where I'm committed. I make a bet, and it's like an information bet where I want to know where I'm at exactly if he really has a flush. Because if he has a flush, when I bet he's going to raise, I don't think he's going to slow play. Or him or her, whoever it be, and also it lets me know where I'm at without putting all my money in. If he does have a flush, you know, even though I have the redraw, I still want to make a decision, like a clear decision.
Well, if the diamond does hit, are you worried that the opponent has the flush, or are you maybe more worried that that just killed your action with your set of eights?
Well, most of the time if there's a flush draw and I flop a set and I bet the flop and someone calls and I bet the turn, I'm never gonna know exactly what they have until they make their action after I bet the turn.
Okay.
You know, if they raise me, most of the times I'll just call there, depending on their stack. If I have a big stack, I have them covered, I might just put it in anyways and gamble with 1 card to go. But if we're both playing deep and we have big stacks and they raise me, I'll just call, hoping the board will pair on the river. But most of the times, you know, especially with a set and hold'em, it's different. A set, you have a strong hand, you know. So it's like, when I flop a set, most of the time I'm going all the way to the river, so. Well,
what if it was 2 pair on the flop? How would that change the dynamic of the hand?
If I flop 2 pair?
Yes.
And the turn was a flush?
Yeah.
Well, that's different because you have less outs, and 2 pair, there's still a lot of hands that could beat you.
It depends, you have top 2, bottom 2.
And depending on who the player is, you know, if it's a good player, I'll check behind to take the free card. Maybe I could fill up, just in case they do have the flush. You know, I mean, 2 pairs is a strong hand heads up, but I never really want to put like all the money in with just 2 pair, especially when a flush is on board. You know, there's so many hands that could beat you. So, the way I play, even though I'm aggressive, when it comes down to like big major tournaments or just, you know, when it's crucial, I like to play safe. I don't really like to put all my money in with just a marginal hand.
So if you do flop a big hand on a draw heavy board, you're probably going to want to play it fast. Is that a good generalization?
Well, that's the way I play it for the most part. If I have a big hand on a heavy board, yeah, I definitely don't want to, you know, let any draws get there cheap. So
save the slow playing for later.
Yeah, save the slow playing for later. Save the slow playing for a clean board against another aggressive player that you know is just going to fire into you. You know, that's most of the time what I do. If it's a heavy board and I have a big hand, I don't really slow play because if you flop top set against like a straight and a flush draw, and you let them get there and they beat your top set, you're angry at yourself after the hand, saying, why did I slow play? Why did I let them get there? You know, so if I bet heavy and they get there, they paid to get there, and they really had it, God bless them. You know, that's poker. It happens.
Thank you very much for coming by to talk today, Chino.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
I'm Lizzie Harrison with Chino Rheem for Card Player TV.